Happy New Year, everyone. Welcome to welcome. We got a lively crowd tonight. Welcome to January 5th, 2016, the very first Board of Selectmen meeting for 2016. We'll try to keep it lively. Okay, so I'm now discombobulated. Okay, so I'd like to make a motion to amend tonight's agenda in regards to the discussion on Depot Square access property. We have met, we had a very productive meeting, and right now it is an ongoing situation, and until such time we cannot disclose what was discussed. We can tell you it was very productive and that we're very optimistic. We also, as per last meeting, we had discussed, there was a discussion on eminent domain. We have gotten some information, and at this time, the Board of Selectmen is taking it under advisement while we pursue the meeting that we had, what was it, last week? December 29th, 28th? 29th. While we pursue what's going on with that. You will be kept posted, and that is all that we can say at this time, because to disclose anything else would jeopardize our negotiating strategy.
I make a motion to approve the agenda as amended.
Okay. All right. Oh, I'm sorry. You seconded? It's only the two of us.
No. There's usually three of us.
I know.
What do we have when there's two of us?
I was waiting. All in favor?
Aye.
Chair says aye. Mr. Luca, unfortunately, will not be with us tonight, but we will happily see him the next time. Okay, so I have some announcements. Here's the exciting stuff. Third quarter taxes are due on Monday, February 1st, 2016. Please remember you can make payments on the town website, and that there is a lockbox located outside the Columbia Street entrance for additional convenience. The 2016 dog tags are available and due by March 31st to avoid any late fees. The 2016 census, we all love the census, is being mailed this week. Please return to the town clerk's office within 14 days of receiving. The last day to register to vote or to change your party affiliation for the March 1st primary is on February 10th. You can also do this online as well. The link is available on the town clerk's page on the Town of Ayer's website. Nomination papers for the Monday, April 25th, 2016 Ayer annual town election are now available. The following offices will be on the ballot: Assessor, Board of Health, Commissioner of Trust Funds, Constable, Housing Authority, Library Trustee, Park Commissioner, Planning Board, Regional School District Committee, Selectmen, Moderator, Treasurer. And last but not least, a winter parking ban is in effect as of Friday, November 15th, 2015 through April 15th, 2016. The winter parking ban prohibits the parking of any motor vehicle on the street or sidewalk throughout the town of Ayer overnight. That's at 12:01 a.m. to 6 a.m. and during snowstorms. Anything else? Did we miss any announcements? Okay. And with that, do we have anyone here for public input? Okay. All right. Well, then I would like to welcome to the table the Town of Littleton Board of Selectmen. Come on out. Have a seat.
Police chief and our chief.
And everyone from Littleton. Why don't you sit up here and give them a little more room? Gary's not here, so we'll just sign for the night.
Town administrator,
Owner.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Hi.
I'll just do an introduction if you don't mind.
I would love it.
Okay. Mr. Bergman.
Keith Bergman, Town Administrator.
Welcome.
My name is Jim Carr. I'm the Chairman of the Board of Selectmen in Littleton.
Vice Chair.
Hi.
Jim Knox.
Hi.
Matthew King, Chief of Police. Chuck DeCoste, Member Board of Selectmen.
All of us same.
I'm Chris Hillman, Air Board of Selectmen.
Janice Livingston.
I'm Robert Pombrian, Air Town Administrator. Welcome.
Well, welcome. We're very excited. I know certainly for the town of Ayer, Mr. Hillman has been working very hard with you on this. So this is a very exciting event, and hopefully we'll have some very good results for all of us.
Yeah. I think, you know, the effort started probably over the summer when Chris and I started talking about the Willow Road to-way 110 intersection. And it really came to light when there was another critical accident there 3 weeks.
October.
Early November.
Early November. So there was a fatal accident at the same intersection over the summer. Time to do something. And Chris and I had spoke. We've got a team together. Your public safety folks, our public safety folks, Chris, Melissa, and myself, and 2 administrators, sat down and came up with a PowerPoint that Chief King will walk us through to try and get the state to do something at that intersection. So I think tonight we'd love to hear from your audience and your public to hear their concerns. We're going to have another joint meeting the 11th so that the townspeople in Littleton can voice their opinions and we can hear their concerns. And then we're going to have a meeting with our legislators, kind of brief them as to the whole process we've gone through. So,
And what time on the 11th?
uh,
6:45.
What's 6:45?
Our meeting starts at 6:30, and this will be an early item on our agenda.
Okay, great.
get you in and out.
We know who'll be there.
All right, so again, that would be the Town of Littleton's Board of Selectmen meeting. Meeting starts at 6:30 PM on the 11th, and it should be on the agenda approximately 6:45 PM.
Got it.
Everyone who wants to be involved. All right, great.
Absolutely. So I'd like to have Chief King, there's a PowerPoint presentation that the group worked on that we'll be presenting to, briefing the legislators. And if we get good results from that meeting, it will stop there. If we don't, we will go forward to bring all the stakeholders together, any town official, or all the town officials, I should say, our legislators, and then any stakeholders from the state, Mass Highway, Public Safety, and anybody else we can get into the meeting. So hopefully, what we're hoping is that our legislators will take the ball and run with it, and understand why it's so important for some mitigation at the site.
And run with it in a timely manner.
In a timely manner, absolutely.
And that's, I think, that
Absolutely.
when we talk to them, we should stress timely, not your timely manner,
You-
our timely manner.
Yeah, get her done.
Get her done. I like that attitude. Get her done.
Chief?
Thank you.
Take it away.
First, thanks to the Air Board of Selectmen, and I'd like to thank my counterpart, Chief Bill Murray, and his Deputy Chief Brian Gill for assisting, and as always, great to work with each other. So, obviously, we're here to talk about the Littleton Ayer Massachusetts Joint Intersection Remediation Project for Ayer Road, Route 2A, Willow Road, and the Bruce Street intersections.
I'm the chief seat, so I'm gonna slide a little bit.
Quick description of the project, the joint project between the town of Ayer and Littleton and Littleton, Mass. to solve a roadway issue that affects both our communities. While the intersection may be in Littleton, there certainly is a lot of traffic, which we'll go over a little bit later, from the town of Ayer and the surrounding towns. The intersection of Ayer Road, Willow Road, and Bruce Street has seen a steady increase in traffic accidents over the last 5 years. Daily vehicle traffic affects both Ayer and Littleton residents on a daily basis. And the roadways are all under Mass DOT jurisdiction. They're not, while they're in our communities, they are maintained, and Mass DOT holds, if you will, the purse strings and also the engineering rights to change the roadways. And we've just also found out that that actually includes that front section of Willow Road is also under Mass DOT jurisdiction. Furthermore, why we have to convince them. Just an overview of Willow Road, Route 2A, which is Ayer Road and Bruce Street. The intersection, you can see it's a fairly congested area. You've got the Chip Shot Sports Pub with the 2 entrances right onto Route 2A. You've got a house right next to Chip Shots, which actually has two driveways that intersect onto, partly onto Route 2A and Willow Road, and then also right onto Willow Road. You have Bruce Street coming out across, directly across. Right next to that, you have the Citgo station with the two entrances onto 2A right there at the intersection. And then you have, of course, the tractor-trailer parking lot across the street, which we all know, we've all got caught in the back of traffic for there when people are trying to back in or pull in. And obviously, there is a poor line of sight in the area there. The speeds on the roadway, the 85th percentile, the last time the state did their project, and our project was at 51 miles per hour, which is about 6 miles an hour over the posted speed limit. So you can see if somebody doesn't pay attention to the stop signs or things of that nature, the accidents happen fairly quickly there. Facts about the intersection. Ayer Road itself averages about 14,500 vehicles a day. Willow Road handles approximately 4,400 vehicles a day, and Bruce Street handles about 560 vehicles a day. So there are a lot of, obviously there's a lot of pathway crosses there. And if you look at the brunt of the times, it's from 6 a.m. till 6 p.m. when most of those 14,000 cars and those 4,000 vehicles are in that time. It's not spread out over a 24-hour period. That may be a 24-hour count, but obviously that 12-hour period is your peaks, and your peaks, of course, are like 6 to 9:30, and then again from 3:30 to 6 o'clock. When we were down there, the Lowell Sun did some coverage. We were down there one day, and I think Mr. Carr was a little amazed at the amount of, when you're really down there watching it, what the traffic really ends up looking like. Issues. Access control is poorly defined within the intersections. Both the intersections of Ayer Road, of Willow Road and Bruce Street are very wide at the end. People that don't know the area, especially coming up Willow Road, don't always see the stop sign, because the stop signs, the typical roadway width may be 28 to 30 feet. At the end there, it's almost 55 feet. So the stop sign, we pulled it back and tried to put stop bars down, things of that nature, trying to get people to see it better. But it's been it's a tough intersection. The skew angles, because again, it's not a typical intersection. They come in at angles. The speed on Route 2A itself at 51. High traffic volumes and speeds on Ayer Road do not provide sufficient gaps for Willow Road left turning traffic in the AM peak time especially. And there's a significant accident history in that area. Just a quick chart of the motor vehicle accidents. 2013, we were down around 4 accidents. We've now in 2015 we had 11 accidents there, and we've been averaging about 5 personal injury accidents a year. And a lot of that has come down over the years because of the advent of airbags and seatbelt use. We did have a fatal motor vehicle accident there over Labor Day weekend, and so this is definitely an intersection that needs our attention. This is just the commercial properties. When people asked, okay, how come Ayer's involved? Well, that's all your commercial properties that just connect to Willow Road, from Westford Road, Willow Road, and things like that. So there's major impacts with truck traffic. There's major impacts to your community as far as economic development goes. You want safe intersections to get more people in and out of the flow for your commercial properties. You also have a lot of housing that comes down off of Sandy Pond Road and Westford Road with the condominiums and the new developments going up off of Westford Road. So there's a lot of Ayer residents that travel that roadway on a daily basis. Okay, Chuck, I don't know, you jinxed me.
You can pull a trigger.
No, you really did jinx me.
My bad.
63 business and industries on Willow Road in that area in Nemco. The intersection is used by the commuters and workers traveling from Ayer and Groton and communities to north to access Route 2A and 110. It's obviously getting on Ayer Road, Route 2A 110 is a large commuter access to Route 495 and Route 2, so a lot of residents are heading down there. Your town reported to us 158 residential properties are impacted and go down there every day on a daily basis. Reconfiguration and signalization of this intersection will improve traffic flow, traffic safety, facilitate commerce in Ayer, Littleton, Groton, and the outdoor lying regions. This is the original letter that came with when the Pingree Hill development in your community, which talks about some mitigation that should happen down in that area. And specifically, especially this next thing, it was quite interesting to see. The 2009 build-out without traffic mitigation center indicates that LOS for this movement will be at levels FF, which FF is the worst it can be during the week AM, PM peak hour times, which even with the mitigation they were going to allow Pingree Hill to do, it still was going to remain at an F, even with the road widening and things like that. So it clearly shows a need for signalization in that area.
And this indicates how long it's been known.
That's correct.
Also.
It has been known, for a while now.
Right.
Good point.
Just a quick picture of one of the crashes that happened in late October, right there at that intersection, tractor trailer versus a car. Quick spot of the full sun coverage that they did at the intersection. Now this is the warrant analysis. This is what the state looks for on whether an intersection should be signalized. So for signal, we recommended an intersection must meet at least one of 9 warrants as outlined in the Manual of Uniform Traffic Control Devices. We'll talk about that a little bit later. We'll get to that in a minute with the chart. 3 are based on vehicular volume thresholds, 2 are based on pedestrian volumes, and 1 is a crash history. For our intersection down there, there's 5 possible warrants we could hit. The remaining 3 are dependent on specific conditions such as being located along a corridor, coordinated traffic signals, or being in close proximity to a railroad crossing. It doesn't make the proximity to the Willow Road crossings. So there's only 5 warrants that would be analyzed for us.
5 out of 9.
5 out of 9.
More than half.
Correct. Well, and that's all that, it's specific, it's all that apply to that intersection, 5 of them.
Right.
Mass DOT is that expected a minimum warrant 1 8-hour vehicular volume should be met. So really all you have to do is meet 1 warrant for it to meet their warrants. Warrant analysis were performed and we met actually 4 out of the 5 warrants specific for that intersection. This shows the warrant number 1 8-hour vehicular volume, we met that criteria. Warrant number 2 4-hour vehicular volume, we met that criteria. Warrant number 3 peak hour volumes, we met that criteria. We did not meet the pedestrian volume, and we did meet crash history experience at that intersection. So there's 4 out of 5 warrants out of when you only really need 1 to even show it, and we're showing high in all 4 of those. So it really does show the overall need for that area, and it shows that that is a critical intersection to get signalized. In my opinion, and I believe the facts show we did the homework for Mass DOT.
Is warrant 9 a railroad crossing?
Yes, it is.
Because there is a railroad crossing further up the street.
Right, it isn't close enough to actually be taken into consideration on warrant 9. It has to be, it's I think it's within an 1/8 of a mile, and it's farther out than that. The next forms are just the data for Mass DOT. It just shows the counts. You can see the far left Ayer Road, Route 2A. It shows the eastbound and the westbound approaches. It shows the Willow Road southbound and approaches, and it gives the data that supports their count numbers for peak hours and things of that nature. That's just the printout from the counters that were deployed. Next sheet, you'll see them handwritten in, and that's the warrant number 2, and that just gives the keys of, you'll see the 197 vehicles, 150, 148, and again, that just is showing the 4-hour volume, the 70% factor, and again, we make those factors. This is just backup more for the state Mass DOT than anything else. Same with warrant number 3. Again, it's peak hour, and it just shows the graphs for Mass DOT, and that's how they came up with their warrant analysis from Green International. And what we're looking for, is install a traffic signal, possibly look at to provide separate left turn lanes for each Ayer Road approach for improved safety to minimize rear end collisions. So off of Willow Road, you'd have a left turn lane and a right turn lane and a straight ahead lane. Off of 2A, you'd have left turn lanes and a straight ahead lane to go through the intersection. So when the intersection light is green, you wouldn't have to stop traffic if you got somebody making let's say you were coming from Ayer and somebody was making a left turn onto Willow Road, straight ahead traffic could still proceed by and have a separate left turn lane in that area. Same thing, you already talked about Willow Road, and Bruce Street, would stay the same. It is the traffic volume on that road of only 500 vehicles a day would have the wouldn't have any turn lanes on there. Main thing is implement some level of access control. We're gonna have to talk to we're gonna have to look at the area down there and look at, the whole, I think when they'll look at the whole package. But our thing isn't so much about the package as is the intersection, the warrants show, we know it's dangerous. This only proves again what we all know,
Right.
that it's a dangerous intersection. Just a quick overview of, again, Air Road at Willow with lights installed. Who knows what, the actual configuration of the state will look like in the end.
Right.
Their engineers will have to come up with with the end game for us.
Mhm.
Next steps, do you want to
Sure.
that?
So, again, as I mentioned earlier, we're gonna present the findings to our legislators, along with, both boards have a meeting, see what they can do for us. If they can take that ball going forward, all good for us. And as you stated, on our timeframe, not on their time.
Right.
If that doesn't work, then we get into MassDOT advanced project to construction. We present all the stakeholders, including MassDOT, our legislators, town officials, and anybody else. Public safety officials from the state, Mass Highway, MassDOT, the Highway Board, anybody else that will listen and come to a meeting, present this and have them move forward. We need to prepare 25% design plans based on improved alternative. I don't know, what is that about?
Yeah, Mass DOT would, the
That's
goal,
what they-
yeah,
that's
the
what
the
they're
goal
to
would
do.
be that once we can get Mass DOT to essentially adopt this project, that the next steps are the 25% design that Mass DOT would do, which would include the preliminary plans, it would include meeting with all the affected property owners, something that both boards of selectmen, both, officials in both towns would need to be involved with as well, because there would likely be some reconfiguration of the intersection. What that looks like the engineering phase would indicate,
And then hold the public input, public hearings for MassDOT so they can hear the concerns of not only the residents, but the landowners and everybody there.
Mhm.
And then let's advance it to 100% design and construct the project. So we're hoping that, we hear some positive feedback from our legislators during our briefing.
Well, very thorough, that's for sure. I'm going to make another announcement. January 11th, Littleton Board of Selectmen meeting starts 6:30 p.m. They expect this to be on the agenda at 6:45. I want to just say that again.
Sure.
Public input is always a benefit.
Chris, do you have anything to add?
I was just gonna ask if there's anybody in the audience that
Yep.
had anything to say, or had any questions regarding this project, as we move forward.
Yes.
Well, I'm glad that we're making some progress on this. My wife recently had an accident there October 19th. Whether a traffic signal or not would have made a difference. It was a rear-end accident on Willow Street. There were 5 cars involved. While the police chief's here, I'd like to thank his officers for the help that they gave my wife that day.
Thank you.
And, we get something done there.
Could we have your name?
My first name is Richard. I'll spell my last name. It's Maimone.
Okay, you
And
got
I
that?
live in Ayer.
Okay, great.
And just to add to what we were saying, the traffic flow only seems to be getting bigger and better by the day over there with the growth of this side of Littleton and in Ayer, obviously. And with Nemco Way being filled up, the new potpourri factory is going to be opened up. We can't have trucks that turn left off of Sandy Pond to avoid our town beach
Right.
to go up there because it's just too dangerous to make that intersection. When the train commuter rail goes through, we might get 25 cars that back up,
Mhm.
and now you've got 15 minutes of 25 cars fighting for their life
Right.
because they're impatient trying to get out there. And that's usually when you see a lot of the issues. So I think this is definitely the time to act on this and push this forward as fast and furious as we can before we're facing another fatality there, because I think it's only a matter of time with the traffic conditions and the amount of traffic that we do have there now. I was shocked to see the counts that Chief Kim came up with.
Yeah, it's hard to fathom, that many cars going by. So,
On a side note, I know we talked about, in our smaller group, the Pygmy Hill mitigation. Have we made some progress, or any update on that that we're aware of?
Through the chair, and I believe that the principals are in the audience, Mr. Roper, Mr. Mullaney, and Mr. Poindexter, I think I see. When we are at the point as to what this is going to look like in terms of the specifics, it's the position of the town in consultation with town council that we would discuss with these gentlemen the issue of the design as it pertained to their MEPA permit for the Pygmy Hill development.
Okay.
And look to work with them, as well as another property owner that has property there is also willing to work with us as far as that turning lane and so forth.
Fantastic.
So I think it's a matter of when we get into the specifics, sitting down and what that looks like.
Makes sense. That's good. That's good
Yeah.
news. Board members, do you have any issues, comments?
No, it's for us, me, it's long overdue, because I live right off Bruce Street. I had to battle that intersection to come to this meeting. So it's something that-
I do every morning. I know. I feel your pain.
Yeah. Mary, you had a question?
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. Up here, you're talking about several different design phases, and are you talking about the state paying for all of this? Because when it was discussed like 12 years ago, it was the two towns get together and do the design, and then the state would pay the rest, and knowing the rate with which the state does something, we'll probably, or some people will be sitting here in another 10 or 12 years, still discussing it. So I wonder if perhaps if the two towns did the preliminary design phase, would it move it any faster?
Well, it's my objective, speaking for the town of Littleton, that it's a state road, the state should handle A to Z, pay for the entire thing. Now, as we said earlier, we're gonna engage our legislators, and really put pressure on them, and that's where the pressure needs to be put on. Obviously, if we see negative results from both our legislators and the state, we'll have to go back to the table and come up with a different plan B. But at this point, for the town of Littleton, where our expectations are that the state, based on what we're gonna tell them, based on the studies that we were done, they need to act on this.
I appreciate what you're saying, but having sat here when Senator Reza was here 12 years ago, and she said, I'll get this in the bond bill, and she's a woman of her word. You get the design done, I'll get it through. We dropped the ball. But now you're saying, and I appreciate what you're saying, but I don't have a lot of confidence that the state is going to move this through, so I think we need to give it a huge kick.
You
Well, I
want to
think-
kick, Chris?
Yeah, I think Jim and I are good at that. That's why we kind of teamed up on this. But that is the point, to push this forward, which way we can. For the record, we've brought it up to our legislatures 3 Octobers in a row when they come and visit. Every single time that they need to look at the intersection, they've said, forward us the information. The information gets forwarded and some ends up in cyberspace apparently. So we've gotten farther so far with just our meetings, and correct me if I'm wrong, Mass DOT has reached out to get some feeling of.
Yes, they have. They have
What
reached
we're-
out. We've actually provided them with most of the information that we presented tonight.
Okay.
And I would also say this is the farthest, I think both towns together have ever pushed
Correct.
this project in this area where the initial study is gonna be handed to them, and, you know, they don't have to go down and do their counts, because they would engage Green or someone like Green to do,
Sure.
you know, and so.
But, oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, and also had a gentleman in the audience, where I do share Mary's reservations, because we all know it, and plus I've heard our state officials sitting right there state that they can purposely silo things. Now, on the topic that they were discussing, it's like, okay, but at the same time, I also heard they can purposely slow things. I don't know what size shoe he exactly wears, but I do know he knows how to use it. And from what I
This
understand,
morning,
so
actually.
do you. So I do think, I think we'll push this. You know, if you, excuse me, and I'll take the gentleman over here.
Absolutely.
Sir?
I was just gonna suggest that if the towns of Littleton and Ayer inform the residents of those towns, they could write to their constituents could write to their legislatures.
I do think that we should get the message out even more than what we're doing right now. Yeah.
And essentially, that's exactly what I was gonna say. You know, we're eight people elected by you all. And the townspeople elect our legislators. And your voice is much louder and much stronger than the 8 of us sitting here. So by all means, let your voice be heard. Reach out to these legislators and say, look, here's what's going on in my town. We're working with the town of Littleton. Let's do something about it. Quote this, this will be on our website. I'm sure Ayer will put it up on their website.
Yes.
Refer them back to the website, say, here's a presentation I saw at a selectmen's meeting.
Yep. And it'll be on our Facebook page.
And trust me, your boots are bigger than ours, because your voices are louder and stronger than ours.
Mm-hmm.
Great point, though.
Thank you.
Yep.
And
Yep.
post the legislators' addresses on the website.
Yeah.
Yes.
You can do
That was Harry.
absolutely.
He wanted to know, can we post the legislators' names and addresses? Yes.
As a matter of fact, well, we could attach this to the PowerPoint.
Jim,
Yeah.
That would be a good idea. That would be a good idea.
Jim.
Attach it right to the PowerPoint.
Yep.
Chief, if you could tell us at least up to this point, Mass DOT's feedback on your relations with them.
So far, I mean, they've looked at everything we fed to them. I gave them we actually went and did a hand search of all our accidents to make sure we actually culled every accident was from there. Gave them the green, make sure that they pertain to the intersection, because they won't, even if an accident happens at the intersection, if all the signalization wouldn't have prevented the accident, they won't look at it. So if someone came down and slid on ice and into a pole,
Sure.
that doesn't
Right.
count. So those counts are very accurate that you see there.
Good.
So we forwarded all that to them. They realize, I think Mass DOT realizes an issue. I'm not sure if what set of legislators tweaked them, because like I said, as soon as we got in the middle of this, we got phone calls for accident reports and Chairman Carr asked me to forward this presentation to them, which I did, and every other thing. So far, I mean, they're working on it. They've given it to I believe, an in-house engineer to at least do their basic, is this something we should look at? So they're at that point. I do have a call in to Joe Frawley, who is our representative from Mass DOT that we do a lot of dealings with. He didn't get back to me today just to say, hey, was there any information I could pass on? So I certainly will get an email out just to Mr. Bergman, and I'm sure he'll get it to everybody so they get any feedback from him. But they certainly are looking at it, and typically when they ask us for hard copies of things, they're moving forward.
It must be useful. We've had this meeting, Chief lets them know we had this meeting, and that there's going to be another one on the 11th.
At
And then-
6:30 PM.
Yes. Is it a Seiko? Which watch do you have? And that way, hopefully that's a little bit of pressure too, because certainly I'd like to believe there's a bit of collegiality, and we've dealt with Mass DOT on a couple other issues in town, and we understand there's a lot of competing priorities, but that they're aware of this and that they're putting some effort toward it, so that it's a collegial effort with the state versus requiring too many boots.
Yes.
Yeah, we need not be hesitant to use them as, to run with the metaphor, pun intended, but hopefully that they're paying attention now.
And I would say it's very rare that there's a collaborative between communities like this to work towards something like this, and it's worked well between the communities. So that says a lot too, because we've worked hard on this in the last 3 months or so. So I think they know we're committed to this.
I have one more question.
Yes.
Is it common to invite legislatures to a selectmen's meeting?
We've done
Did we
it.
ask
Right. We have.
We have asked them before, yeah.
Yeah.
Did we ask them?
Through the chair, yes, I mean, in the past, the legislators, at least in Ayer, come for annual or biannual update and have come to meetings before. When the two towns started working on this about 3 months or so, the plan that was agreed to was that we would do 2 public meetings like this, one in Ayer, one in Littleton, and then have the group then brief the legislative delegation one-on-one with Mass DOT and move in that direction. And the real reason behind that was to, in the front end, was to maximize the public input and the public comments.
Thank you.
And we do the same. I mean, our legislators come before us at least once a year to talk to us. And, that too, yes. And to brief us on any type of budgetary issues and stuff.
And when they've been kind enough to bring a check from the state treasury for us to use in town, and this is another opportunity for them to bring a check from the state treasury.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Hi, Steve Mulaney, representing Pingree Hill. One question, have the regional planning agencies had any input with regard to the TIP, the Transportation Improvement Program, and prioritizing it there to see if there's perhaps some federal funding that could be applied?
Not at this point. But
We had discussed that recognizing that the TIP process typically takes years, decades, that we were going to try this direct approach to Mass DOT to get them to, in my words, adopt this project as their own. Otherwise, in Littleton's case, we've done projects on the TIP before where specifically you are required to do the design work, and at the very end, they'll give you construction funding. And as the chair said, we were interested in a more direct approach to have Mass DOT take over the design, the engineering, and construction from the get-go. So that's our first intention, is to pursue that.
Anyone else? Chris?
If no one else has, I was just going to make a quick motion for the record. I'm going to make a motion that the Ayer and Littleton Boards of Selectmen at their meeting on Monday jointly vote to request that Mass DOT provides signalization and improvements to the intersection of Littleton, Ayer Road, Route 2A, 110, Willow Road, and Bruce Street at the Littleton Ayer Town Line as an urgent matter of public safety, and further to request the assistance of our state legislation, having trouble speaking tonight, delegations in scheduling a meeting with Mass DOT to discuss this joint request.
Seconded. All in favor? Chris?
Aye.
Chair says aye.
So do I hear the same motion from all of them?
So moved.
Second.
I move the second. All those in favor?
Aye.
We're together on this.
All right. Well, I want to thank you on behalf of the town of Ayer for all the work that you have done on this, and I thank you for being here tonight. I also have to give my hats off to Mr. Hillman, who has worked very hard for the town of Ayer on this. I give kudos where they're due.
Thank you.
Okay. And so I believe that we will see each other again on January 11th at 6:30 p.m. at the Littleton Board of Selectmen meeting, and the address is
It's 37 Shattuck Street in Littleton. That's for the Littleton Town offices.
Okay.
Just one more thing.
Yes.
I wanted to acknowledge Superintendent Wetzel, Superintendent Clyde from the Littleton Highway Department, Chief Wadzinski, Chief Pedrazi, Chief Murray, Deputy Chief Patterson. We've all met and kind of banged our heads together on ideas on this. So it's been a pleasure working because we've dealt with other towns and some things and it hasn't been so pleasurable. I want to thank everybody from Littleton for making this work and hopefully seeing it through together. And see you guys on Monday.
Thank you very much.
Happy New Year. Nice to see you.
Try to stay warm.
Pleasure.
Thank you. Thanks very much.
And did we get a confirmed date today? Did I
Well,
see something?
James is available at 4:30 on Friday.
Madam Chair, 4:30 on Friday work for you?
Yeah.
So I'll I can make that happen.
Yeah, great.
Over at your place?
At the police, yeah.
Great. And Jim will be there as well? Yes. Oh, all right, so we'll reach out to Jim. She may already know. Jim.
I think they already agreed on it.
Oh, okay, great.
Thank you.
Right,
All right,
Robert?
nice to see you.
Yeah.
No, we
All
are.
right. Thank you.
Okay. All right.
John?
All right, Robert.
Okay, Madam Chair, members of the board, Happy New Year, and I look forward
Same to you.
to another productive year with the board and with the town here in 2016. Over the last 3 weeks, we've been mostly focusing on FY 2017 budget preparations and budget processes, which you are all involved in. Working with the town of Littleton on tonight's proposal, as well as working on various potential resolutions to the air commuter rail surface parking lot issue that was also touched upon, as that remains a work in progress. And then a lot of year-end requirements as it pertains to the calendar, whether it's budget, various grant reports, and so forth. And then I will touch upon just briefly as one of the items in my report, we're right at the halfway mark of the year from the goals that we mutually agreed to, and I'll give a brief update as to where we are on my goals as set by the board, and pleased to report that we'll be in good shape come the deadline of June 30th, even before that. Some of them are already in progress or underway, but I'll touch upon that in just a moment. The first action item is some appointments. The first appointment, through the chair, if there's no objection, ask, he maybe stepped out, well, that's okay. In there is a memo from Chief Murray for the appointment of detail officers. The December 30th memo from the chief, all of these individuals currently perform detail work in the town of Ayer. And as a procedural matter, we have been advised that they should be appointed as detail officers. The appointment as a detail officer, they are not become part of the union, they are not Ayer police officers, but as proper legal form, they should be appointed by the Board of Selectmen. And that is what's before you for consideration for appointment.
Is it a 1 year or is it just?
Yes, should be done, good point, it should be done annually by the Board of Selectmen. I mean, everything is in good order. These, as you can see, are all offices in good standing from various communities in the Neshoba Valley, but they should be annually appointed by the Board of Selectmen.
So the appointment would run until when?
The appointment would run, I would appoint them, the appointment would be effective now and would expire on June 30th of 2016.
June 30th of 2016. So it would only be a
6 months.
6 month appointment?
Well, it's up to the board. I guess you could make it as part of your annual appointments, which would make it June 30th. You'd have to do it again in 6 months, or you could do it effective a year from now.
If there's a problem, wouldn't the chief come to us and,
Yeah,
do we need to do this 6 months from now, or just?
No, I'm confident. I mean, we've done this before. It's just, it's more of
Yeah.
a formality. I would say that we make the appointment for a year or until January 1st or December 31st, 2016.
That would make,
Yeah.
that makes
And
sense.
if the chief
Okay.
has,
Yep.
issues, do you want to read these all, every name off, or just as outlined in the
I
memorandum?
would respectfully, the motion just as outlined in the
Good. All
December
right.
30th memo.
Thank you.
Good, because I really was not looking forward to that.
Oh.
Sorry.
I'm sorry. I would like to make a motion, as outlined in the memorandum from Chief Murray to the town administrator, to appoint the detail officers from today's date, which is January 5th, until
December 31st.
December 31st, 2016. And that would be effective immediately.
Seconded.
That's hard. I know. I know.
And now he's over there, so I keep waiting for him to
Yeah.
answer.
Uh,
All in favor?
Aye.
Chair says aye. Motion passes.
Thank you. The next appointment is an appointment for Ms. Janice Goodrow of Ayer as a member of the Recycling Committee for a term to expire on June 30th, 2016. And she had reached out interest in serving on this committee and has also talked to the Recycling Committee. So I'm recommending the board consider that appointment.
So was this an unexpired term?
Yes, it's normally a 3-year term. It's an unexpired,
June.
yeah,
Okay.
3-year. So it's the balance of a 3-year.
Okay. All right.
Make a motion to appoint, is it Janice?
Yep.
Janice Goodrow to the term, the expiring term of Recycling Committee until June of 2016?
June 30th.
June 30th, of 2016, sorry.
That was backwards, but yes, seconded.
It worked, right?
Yeah. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Chair says aye. And congratulations to Ms. Janice Goodrow.
All right, thank you. The next item, as the board's aware, the annual Mass Municipal Convention and meeting is on January 22nd, 23rd this year, 2016, at the Heinz Auditorium in Boston.
It will snow.
And hopefully the weather will be better. And as in the past, I'm asking, each town has a vote at the business meeting and at the insurance meeting, and I didn't know if any of the members of the Board of Selectmen are able to attend this year. I'm going to be attending, as I usually do. But if the selectman was attending, if he or she wanted to be the voting delegate, but if selectmen can't make it, I would be happy to do it as I have on occasion in the past.
I definitely cannot take that Friday off.
Okay.
So
And we know my
Just-
schedule, I can barely make it to
Yeah.
meetings. So I would actually like to attend, because I've never been, but I would.
well, Friday's the trade show. That was, you come home with a lot of little goodies.
Yeah,
It's
no,
posted
no,
and everything.
yeah,
And
yeah,
I
exactly.
didn't get to go to the Saturday last year because of the
Storm.
snow,
Right,
The storm.
you know.
I would make a motion to nominate Town Administrator Compran as the voting authority for the MMA conference in January.
Seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Chair says aye. Congratulations.
Thank you, Board. And then lastly, as I mentioned, and I
Vote
put,
correctly.
yes.
Whatever that is.
I will
What- Don't
report-
screw up the
They're
vote.
mostly, as you know, they're
Don't
almost.
come back and say it was a butterfly ballot or anything like that, because I
Or
don't want to hear
hanging.
Hanging
chads.
chads.
Singing chats.
So the last item, as I mentioned, we're at the halfway point of the year, and we had set these goals back, effective for July 1st, and I just wanted, you have in your packet, if there are any questions, and I wanted to thank Carly for putting together this sort of matrix update on my goals. Just to give you a quick update and reminder of what the goals were. Goal 1, and not in any particular order, was the preparation and completion and presentation of the town's now master plan to the board for review and update for BOS approval. We started this process on September 29th, and some of you have been very involved in it, and that remains in progress. Update and implement a BOS executive minute system. We began organizing all of the executive session minutes that is a monumental undertaking. We have put together the inventory and do have, as we begin to now meet in the new year in executive session, begin to release those, and we'll have a system forward. So this will be, the goal will be completed by June 30th, the goal being that all minutes that can be released, executive session, are released, and we have a system moving
By June
forward.
30th,
Yeah,
all the minutes
yeah,
that can be released.
yeah, that can
By
be
June
released.
30th.
Yep.
Well,
I'm making, okay, good luck. I want to see you do it.
and you have to redact some
Alright.
stuff
I
on
wanna
those
see
too,
that.
right?
Yeah, it's a
I'm rooting
Yeah.
for you.
All right,
I'm
okay.
rooting for you. Okay,
right.
I'm gonna hold you to this.
The another was the completion of the non-union personnel compensation study that was completed with town meeting. Develop and implement an official townwide wellness program in the Maya Rewards program. We get these rewards points for different seminars and so forth. Mr. Johnson, by me, has been put in charge of that. That's in progress, and we'll have an update as we get closer, but that is underway. The continuation with the public records inventory and disposal, when applicable, of the BOS and TA offices, that's in progress. And again, a big thanks to Ms. Antonellis. As you can see, the office is getting cleaner and less material. We're finding all kinds of things. But anyway, that's underway, and we're in a good...
He found his desk.
A lot of progress. The development of a strategic plan for unaccepted streets in town, and that at town meeting accepted 5 streets, and the town engineer and DPW superintendent actually today doing a conference call with town council regarding the next round of streets and some of the difficult ones, what we need to do. But that whole plan is on schedule. Complete the update of the town's website to include continued implementation of online permitting. Ms. Knox will be here at your meeting on the 19th to unveil the new website and the online permitting features. So that should be a good meeting, a lot of good work done there.
Huge for the town of Ayer.
Yeah.
Once that gets
I'm very excited.
implemented.
Yeah. And through her efforts, we were able to secure a grant from the IPP board for $27,000. We asked for 24, but they liked our proposal so much they gave us 27,000. That will allow us to put a kiosk at the building department and the town clerk's office, a computer kiosk for online permitting and so forth.
And that's how something like Chelmsford does
You're
that.
kidding.
Yeah.
Wow.
So Chelmsford does that. You go in and they say, "Can I do a permit?" And they say, and it's so simplified that
Yeah,
it's just a
it's-
matter of typing your name in, and it's great.
I think you mentioned it before, and it just clicked what you meant by the kiosk.
Yeah.
It's like,
So that's what Chelmsford has.
I'm
and
going to fill out permits just because.
It really makes it a lot easier.
Yeah. And then the development of the land use proposal, what we're calling the departmental coordinator, the internal posting period concluded over the holidays, and we will be bringing hopefully a candidate before you shortly for consideration. The budget is an ongoing, but we're in good shape so far. And the warrants, we're going to start all of, before you know it, it'll be the spring, but as far as the town meeting warrants. And then lastly, we have 3 collective bargaining agreements that expire on June 30th, the fire, the police superiors, and in DPW. And traditionally, procedurally, the unions send a letter of intent to the board to commence the negotiations. So now that the new year's here, I've gave a very polite nudge to get that underway. But my goal, as it was last year, is to have the collective bargaining agreement negotiations concluded no later than March, so that there's time for their inclusion in the budget, obviously. So I will, now that we're in the final 6-month stretch, we'll continue to keep you updated on the progress of these goals that we formally set. And of course, this doesn't include a bunch of other things that we're all doing and you're all doing.
May I suggest that we conduct negotiations as we did last year that worked out very well? Robert, the department head, whether selectmen or not present, I think it works out much better.
Works better. It takes the politics games right
Correct.
out.
So that'd be great.
Okay.
All right.
So that concludes
So that was
my
it?
report for tonight.
Well, that was actually quick for you. Okay. And no new business questions?
I mentioned this to Robert quickly today, and I know he had followed up on it. I know.
Always.
You know, you wouldn't believe the list I have. So
Oh,
you're
I
lucky.
would.
Yeah.
I would.
The brain never stops, so you don't sleep. About the trees across the street here,
Yes.
from the railroad, getting those removed finally. And I believe you had spoken to Mr. Biggins and the MBTA.
Back in September, through the chair, I contacted MBTA regarding out in front, and this came from some complaints from the church to the vegetation. They fixed the fence, but they didn't do the vegetation and remove the material. So, and Carly reminded me to do a follow-up with them. The gentleman from MBTA was very good on it. Was surprised that it all hadn't been done, because the request of the proposal, meaning the removal of the trees and the issue of the fence. So it was right before the whole holiday break. He was going to get back to me, so I'll let you know as soon as I hear. The intention was for it to be all done. So I will hope to have an answer soon, and hopefully the weather, if this weather continues, it can be done without having to wait till the
Sure.
spring. So
And the MBTA has pledged to that if we bought, the slats that go in the fence, you don't look at the railroad tracks.
Right.
You can see where the fence, that if we
right.
purchase them, which are cheap, that their crew would install them. So I think that's something that we should remind them of.
Yep.
And remind Mr. Maxon to stop vandalizing the fence over on the other side of the bench,
Yeah.
or electrify it.
That would be nice if you would stop doing that.
But I'll save the rest of the list for
the next time.
For the
Yeah,
next meeting.
Don't throw it all out in one meeting.
No, because it just comes,
Yeah. So, okay. All right, well, I'm just going to do another reminder. January 11th, 6:30 p.m. Littleton Board of Selectmen meeting, another public safety meeting on the Willow Road 2A intersection. Please attend if you can.
Madam Chair, one quick
Yes.
before you adjourn. What is the update of the old fire station?
Where are my balloons?
No, they're coming.
I keep getting promised they're coming.
And I wish, please give
You
props
know,
to Mr. Garcia on this
I've
too.
honestly gone into
Yeah.
denial
Alicia.
over the thing.
Just very briefly through the chair, as far as the public update is the transfer, the closing of the building has to happen no later than January 31st. The original agreement was December 31st. In light of that, in all fairness to all parties, there was the buyer's attorney, there was some delays.
Are there 31 days in January?
Yeah. So, but also the new development was that Alicia Hersey in the Community Development Office had approached me, and the buyers were originally interested in some potential state funding for some of the historic components and rehab components, and they were originally told by that office that there wasn't any funding available, but Ms. Hersey did find a program and some funding that is a good fit. It's a good fit because it will help that project, but it'll also help that project meet the goal of the historic look and so forth. So, given those extenuating circumstances, and it's been made very clear that it has to close by January 31st. We generally don't do extensions or deadlines, but in the spirit, with a good faith from the buyers and good faith from us as the sellers, you'll have your balloons by the 31st, and we will have the signed purchase and sale and the check for the balance of the remaining.
Cake would be nice. Yeah.
So.
Just as you know, I've recused myself from this, but I do work for the developer. They were singing the praises of Miss Hersey when I spoke to them recently.
Everybody sings praise.
Yes, but they were very impressed with how she's,
Yeah,
I've heard this from several people, how she's taken over that office and really got a lot of things done. So congratulations to her.
Actually, I just thought of something.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm gonna be a Chris tonight. I thought of something.
okay.
Good, give me time to think of
Chris
something
gonna love
else.
this. Chris gonna love this. No, you've had your fill. In regards to the windows,
The town hall windows.
yes, the town hall windows.
Yeah.
And the fact
Sing
that
it, please. Let's
we
go.
can't replace it because the historical reasons and everything, but we still have drafts and you know, UV rays coming in and all that other stuff, correct?
Yes.
Has anyone even considered, and I know this is not what people want, but if it'll help solve a problem, I'm just throwing this idea out there. First of all, you're gonna have to get some paintable caulk, re-caulk the windows. It has to be paintable. You can't get that silicone stuff, you can't paint it. All right? What about the plastic film that you can get them at Home Depot? We could order some pizzas. We sit here, we cut the film, we put it on there. It's clear. Everybody puts them on their home. They last fine. Takes care of some of the UV rays. I know it sounds funny. I know people are laughing, but it actually does
Making
work.
a note.
You put on the clear. It helps with some of the cold. Helps with some of the light coming in. It pops in my head.
Okay.
I'm gonna throw it out there because obviously something has to be done. And since we don't feel like putting total plastic on the windows, and this would just be on the window. I know it sounds crazy.
No, it's not crazy because that's what you would do in your own home.
Exactly.
My opinion is the representation in the State House has changed. The appointments may have changed in the historical committee. We were going on one gentleman's opinion who had probably never heard of Ayer, based on a grant from 2002, and I don't know how long that.
Oh, we can definitely pursue the question again.
No, and I think we should. I think we didn't pursue it, and I know there was a lot going on, so I'm not saying we, at the time, but we lost out on a phenomenal opportunity to upgrade the building, and not only that, the physical facade of the building would have looked amazing. And we're a green community, yet I'm sitting here feeling a breeze as I sit here this evening. When our historical board signed off on it, and we funded it, only to take a no from a gentleman down in Cambridge. I think we need to push a little farther and a little harder and make a little more light of it, seeing that we are a green community. And what do we get preached at? What do we see on every street in solar panels? What are we being told by the state to do? And we're being told that we can't put in replica windows because there's a gentleman in Cambridge that doesn't like it. And I'd love to speak to that gentleman in Cambridge if you'd let me do it.
No.
But I think that's something we need to pursue in moving forward. I know we're going to do the LED lights, I believe. Is that that's coming up?
That's for the next.
And the street lights, but
let's pursue this again.
yeah, I really think we.
What's the worst thing they're gonna do? Say no.
Okay. Yeah, I mean,
There's
right.
the slim chance I could say yes.
I don't know if there's been any changes in that office, so we can look into that. They are appointed by the governor.
Did we ever go through council though? I mean, do we have any recourse? It's our building.
Well, so the challenge in just a nutshell is that we, it was a great project that was put together, and all the credit to Mr. Sherman for bringing it forward.
And the price was phenomenal.
Yeah, and we moved forward with it, and the issue is, it has to do with historic standards from the state. The issue was that the material, though aesthetically and visually, the material will look just like it does now. The State Historic Commission, it was not it had to be what they call natural growth material, or
Stuff that rots.
Original, what?
Stuff that
Yeah,
rots.
original, it had to be original wood. And so that's where the whole issue, and the board saw all of our correspondence on this, that you could not tell aesthetically, we sent all the memos. I talked to the delegation.
Oh, I know you worked
There were
hard.
letters sent from Senator Elder, all of the offices of the green community angle, and we had other people come in here at no cost to the town, or I should say Dan, to look at how can we make this work. And so the final verdict, so what happened was, we had this approved project.
We shouldn't have asked.
Historic said, State Historic.
Our historic committee was great.
Said
Vetting
that
yeah.
it was in violation of their policies, for lack of a better word. Additionally, we had received, I think it's $100,000 at some point from Mass Historic for the Great Hall. And there was concern that we'd have to return or repay that money. And when I talked to town council about it, the other concern was that now that Historic knew of the project, I'm just saying if we commenced with the project, it's in violation of the thing that they could have the legal grounds to order the work stopped or to file an injunction. I mean, it's, as you know, my job is
I
to...
understand. I
Right,
understand.
so the decision ultimately, after months in the file on is huge of trying to make this happen, was a no from Mass Historic. Now,
Correct me if I'm wrong, they're vinyl siding the new town hall in Harvard, in the historic town.
I know it's underway.
Yeah.
I don't know what the material is.
Okay.
And I know that,
Did they have historic grant preservation?
I thought they did, yeah.
That's why we can't do it.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah,
the
that'd
most
be
frustrating
fair.
thing is the color expert from Renewal, the color material expert, was here for a total of 16 hours with Mr. Sherman. They matched to the point that you couldn't tell. I mean, I'm just saying.
No, I work with it
aesthetic,
all the time. You
but
cannot- you couldn't
their
tell
whole
if it was-
guideline has to do with the historic integrity of the building. It has to be the original wood.
But if you explain that, then should we get a coal-fired heating system back and have someone shoveling it in? And should we have,
That would create a job.
I
Does
mean,
does
should we,
Hilco still put the...
should we
still
get
the-
rid of the handicap ramps? I mean, I
Right.
guess I could make this
Well,
argument all night
In
long.
100 years from now, people are gonna say, why didn't they? place
So
this
the
one?"
final piece was, after all of this, I said, well, what can we do? One is to reconstruct all of the windows with the original wood and so forth, which turned our $170,000 project into conservatively 400 and something
And
thousand.
less efficient.
Or we could put, and it goes to show you the whole aesthetic argument is a double-edged sword, or they would allow us to put storm windows on the building, which are not, as you know, would be a disaster of, so those were the two things, but that's where it ended. It
Is there an
didn't-
appeal process? I mean, do we go public with this? I mean, do we push it?
We did, right?
We do have all, we did appeal,
Well,
when I say.
Senator Elledge was about as rude, and he's been rude to me in the past. We've had some good conversations and bad, but they're not gonna change their mind, Chris, so stop. That was what I got.
Yeah, I mean, we have
So-
some letters that and we did, when I say,
I
Well,
didn't
that,
stop.
well, that could be just because of you.
Yeah.
again, just like the board, I wanted to absolutely do the project, that ultimately the decision was made not to do it.
No, I
Well,
understand.
let's look into, let's just test the waters and see if anything's changed.
Okay?
Uh,
Yeah, I
can't
mean,
hurt.
I,
yes,
yeah,
it'll, take
I
some
don't know
time
if
out of your
he's,
life,
if
but
he's,
that's okay.
no, I don't know if he's still there. I mean, again, we have all of the information.
Right.
It would be just to ask again.
But that would be interesting.
In
if-
managing
if
expectations, they're
what you're
gonna
saying
say.
about Harvard, and they do have historic funds being used, that would be kind of
Well,
a case to throw out.
I just, the reason I say this, and maybe it's the exterior, but the building was remodeled and there's suspended ceiling in the hallways with residential lights that seem to pass the test.
Yeah,
Right.
In certain areas, so.
okay.
I mean, and I don't want to tax you anymore. I just think, I think we're just,
No,
we might as well just keep the window open and turn the furnace up to 80, the coal furnace.
the coal furnace. Okay. Well, we can,
We
I
might
can
have to
ask,
look
but
at
it
the
may.
plastic film.
I can
And I know
look
we've
at it
discussed
again,
this
but-
at great length at Capitol as well.
Yeah.
I'll order the pizzas.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do we know if this man is still this?
Well,
Yeah, I
that's
know.
what he's gonna check.
I'm gonna check.
We could call the governor's office.
Yes.
Yeah.
can't we?
Because I don't think
Yeah.
it went to a board. It seemed like it was one
It was
individual.
just him.
According to Mr.
Right.
Sherman, he said, oh yeah, it was great to talk to, and then it was no.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
So
that-
we're
yeah.
gonna test the water, see if anything's changed.
And they gave, the Fletcher building, I believe they gave them a waiver on the windows. And that's in our historic district.
Right, and
Yeah.
when we brought up the issue of waiver, it was no, because I asked, well, what can we get, how do we proceed with getting a waiver? You're not eligible for a waiver because you either have to reconstruct the windows with the original wood or storm windows.
But if it was voted on by a committee, I guess I could be okay with it. But from what all I understood, it was like someone coming to the Board of Selectmen and Janice
I
said,
see.
no,
Yeah,
we're not talking about it, no.
Yeah.
And that was it. So, I mean, it wasn't, from what I understood from some of the relatives, it wasn't vetted through a meeting like we have with our historical committee, where they voted. It was the chairman saying, no.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will
I
reassess.
know you didn't want to hear about windows, but
No,
it's really
I
cold.
mean-
Well, I've been babbling
Yeah,
about it for years,
so-
but I thank you for bringing it up again.
Oh.
But we have this automated system too that would work a hell of a lot better with the windows that actually.
Yeah. That
Yeah.
never seems to work, so.
Okay.
All right, so,
All
well, I
right.
think that was it for.
No, good
surprise
point.
stuff. So, all right, I reviewed the minutes. They look good.
So did I, and they looked fantastic. And I would like to make a motion to, make a motion to approve the minutes of Tuesday, December 15th, 2015.
Seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Chair says aye. The meeting minutes of December 15th are approved. Really?
I like how you do this. It's
Yes,
signed.
Robert.
Signed.
I know, through the chair, I know this is completely out of order, but it just dawned on me.
Uh-oh.
A quick announcement I sent to the board that there's going to be the ribbon cutting at the,
Family Dollar is open. I actually was there the other day. I had one eye open because I hurt my eye, but anyway, looks great. I got slapped by a tree. And they're having their ribbon cutting on this Saturday, on the 9th, at what
8
time?
8 a.m.
8 a.m.
Did they open before the holidays, or was it delayed?
They were open this weekend, that much
It
I
was
know.
after.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Friday.
Yeah, we drove by
Oh,
and
was
they
it
were open.
nice? Yeah.
It was beautiful in there with one eye open. I can tell you it was beautiful. I told them I would be back when I had two functioning eyes.
No, it's great.
So-
I think that's the beginning of some good things down there.
Yeah. So, yes, Family Dollar is now open.
Can I add one other thing in public? Just quickly, the Walgreens that was supposed to go in down the street in Littleton was denied across from Market Basket. They were gonna, on the corner of Russell Street, if you
Yeah.
Market Basket, was shot down and they abandoned that. I know they had expressed interest in Ayer previously. I believe they even did a traffic
Yep.
count. Now that we have numbers on 2A, obviously, which would extend all the way down to the Rotary and then increase at the Rotary if you take into Barnum Road and all the. I don't think our previous economic director, I think he reached out to the custodian maybe that worked at Walgreens, but maybe Miss Hersey or
Alicia's a
someone.
good representative.
If no one would object, I think it might be worth
Can't hurt.
showing
Okay.
them all the good things that are going on in there, and like I told David, and he didn't seem to understand, was Market, Harvard, Devon's, Shirley, Lancaster, that part of Groton, this part of Littleton. There's
Yeah.
no pharmacy. And I'm not trying to take away from the medicine shop, because I think Selectman Livingston said it, if you go to the medicine shop, you go to the medicine shop.
Right.
And that's just like,
Right.
the shop and save's open, it's great, I go to Shaw's, because that's where I go, because it's close to my house.
Yep.
So,
Okay.
I think it's worth reaching out and telling them that we'd certainly be willing to listen. And
Can't hurt.
if that's okay with everybody, and
Sure.
I don't know if you want to
I'll
Alicia
talk
do it.
to
or-
Alicia, yeah.
Okay, because
Okay.
I just found out that didn't go through
Yeah, I
over
didn't
there.
realize that. I knew that was
Yeah,
proposed.
I thought it was done, but no, they backed out.
Okay.
And then, one last thing. Monday, the last Monday of this month is the 26th, is that correct?
It's a Tuesday.
It's a Tuesday. I don't know why I thought it was a Monday for some reason.
26th.
January 26th, 6 p.m.,
5:30.
5:30 p.m. Planning Board is going to be having a public hearing,
It's an information session.
information session,
those.
information session in regards to the proposed zoning bylaw change. It would be great if people could show up. So again, that's January 26th, 5:30 p.m. here in the Ayer Town Hall. Information session on the proposed zoning bylaws.
And this is the one that you started to present in 2012 and got
Yep.
cut off.
Working on it.
Yeah, at town meeting, so,
So,
all right.
Discovered.
Great,
Okay.
and good job promoting it. I would keep that up because I've seen it all over the place, so good job.
all right,
Is that it?
I think that's it.
I make a motion to adjourn at 8:15.
Seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Chair says aye. We are adjourned. Good night, ladies and gentlemen.